was March Madness, and then something happened. I don't remember.
It's a different one.
Yeah, it's been a ride. All right. I hope you're in for a fun night. I mean, I hope you have fun. You are in for a fun night. I should just declare that. March Madness.
Come on, Davenport, you haven't changed at all.
March Madness is pure chaos. Just lean into the chaos. So, before we get going,
That's great.
it is, yeah. Oh yeah. This is my safety blanket, because if I don't have this with me, I'm going to forget something. And even with this, I'm going to forget something, but the thing will be less important if I'm holding this. So it's like, I'll try not to blame. Kitchener-Waterloo Little Theater would like to remind everyone that this theater is on the Holloman Tract, the land that's been promised to the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and neutral peoples. And they were here for generations, and then we're still. As I said this afternoon, I'm of English blood, and something that I'm aware of is like my people weren't exactly invited, we just kind of showed up and are still here. So long term, I think it's good to think about, justice and how can this be better? Short term, tonight, theater. So, I'm Michael L. Davenport, I'm the MC for this evening. To explain what March Madness is, because there are some people who might not have seen this before. What this is this is a show. You're going to see the same script performed 3 different times. But the script deliberately did not have any strong characterization or stage direction. There are a couple, but not many. It is a very blank slate. Each director got the script a week ago. And in the last week, they've cast their show, they've run auditions, they've come up with a different interpretation of the same script. And if you don't know what that means, you will by the end. It'll become very clear. Like I said, it's only been a week, so pure chaos. You might be like, I can see cables running around. Oh, these are the flats from falling away. They didn't repaint them. Don't worry about it. We're here for a good time. All right. I would like to remind everyone also that this show is being live streamed. Hello, people at home. I haven't forgotten about you. For the people who are watching the live stream, there's no upfront charge for this event, but Kitchener-Waterloo Little Theater is a charity and it is a nonprofit. So if you're like, I like this has been worth a few dollars of my time, feel free to leave those few dollars with us. There should be a donate link appearing in the chat or a banner. The person running that is up there and not here, but cool. All right. Itinerary for the evening. You're going to see 3 different shows, and then there will be an intermission. During the intermission, you'll have the opportunity to vote for your favorite show. You should all have a shiny token like this. Ooh. And during the intermission, there'll be 3 buckets out there appropriately labeled, and you can just stick your token in the bucket. And whoever gets the most votes at the end of the night, that will be awarded the Audience Favorite Award. Yeah. The people online, you can also vote. There should be a voting link that will appear in the chat at the appropriate time, and you can also cast a metaphorical one of these for the audience favorite. All right, after the intermission, we're going to have a Q&A with the playwright. We are going to have an adjudication, and we're going to have some preview of some upcoming KWLT things. With all of that, who's ready to see the first show? All right. So the script is called Captive by Amy Neufeld, and you're about to see Captive by Amy Neufeld as performed by Cupidness. Cupidness.
What's going on?
How should I know? I just got here.
Oh, right. Hi.
Hi.
Where did you come from?
Outside?
Yeah, I got that much.
It's kind of weird out there.
I'll say.
Have you been here long?
I'm not sure. I was still half asleep when they brought me in, but I think it's been a while.
They got you too, huh?
Yep. I guess it was inevitable.
What do you mean?
That it was just a matter of time, right?
Have we met before? You seem familiar.
I don't think so. My name's...
Oh, I don't think we're supposed to, you know.
Right. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm not sure what we do here.
Well, having been here longer than you, I can confirm that what we do is sit and wait, which is frustrating.
I mean, sitting's not the worst.
It would be better with a chair or a cushion.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you look at the research, sitting's actually really bad for you. They say it's like smoking.
They?
Not they. Scientists they. Researchers.
Oh, you're done with sitting.
There's gotta be something in here. Some clue, some information.
It doesn't look like much to see.
Maybe there's a false wall?
You should stop. I don't think we're supposed to be doing
Relax, it's fine.
You know, saying that rarely does.
Does what?
Get someone to relax. Telling someone to relax, does the opposite.
Oh, being told to relax makes you more tense, more tightly wound.
Well, it makes me angry and irritated at the person who thinks saying relax will somehow calm me. As if I didn't know I was anxious.
Maybe you don't. Maybe anxious is your default setting. And maybe a verbal cue is a good thing to bring you awareness.
Oh, I didn't realize you were a psychiatrist.
Careful, remember, we're not supposed to. Besides, being mad and irritated isn't the same as being tense and anxious. So, in a way, me telling you to relax did ease your tension.
Do you think replacing mild anxiety with rage is a good trade?
Rage, huh? I get you that riled up.
Stop.
Also, sorry to break it to you, but I don't think your anxiety can be described as mild. You're practically vibrating on the ground over there.
Those are rage vibrations, not anxiety.
Sure thing, friend.
Thank you.
Huh?
For sitting down, for not poking around like we're not supposed to be doing.
Oh, you're welcome. Although, in the spirit of full transparency, I sat down because there's clearly nothing in here.
So it had nothing to do with for me asking you not to.
Well, not entirely. Do you think, was that because of us, of me, poking around?
Relax, it's fine.
Hey, you're right. That does suck.
And you.
So, I was obviously still asleep when they grabbed me. What about you? Where were you?
Should we be...
What are they going to do, bang on the walls again?
That's an awful lot of confidence considering how high you jumped when that banging started.
I was startled. Now I'm composed. It's cute, right?
It's annoying.
Yeah, it's cute.
I was at work when they showed up.
You start work early?
Yeah, I like to get there when it's quiet. I'm an early riser who gets me out of the house. Although now, I wish someone else had been there with me.
Probably wouldn't have made a difference.
No, probably not.
Hey, you agreed with me.
Don't worry, I won't make it a habit.
What?
What?
You're staring.
I'm observing.
No difference. What are you observing?
I'm trying to figure out why you're so familiar.
And?
Tyrone!
What is this, Rumpelstiltskin? One gets down, darling. My name's not Tyrone.
No, Tyrone is who you remind me of.
I look like someone named Tyrone?
Not look like, sound like. You sound like my cousin, Tyrone.
Really? I find that hard to believe.
Well, not like tonally. The quality of your voice is different, but your speech pattern, your cadence is the same as his.
Oh, is this a good thing?
Absolutely. Tyrone is easily my favorite cousin. Very intelligent. I'd love to sound like Tyrone.
Well then, good. like to meet your aunt and uncle.
Why?
I want to meet the people who hold a tiny baby in their hands, look in his little face, and think, Tyrone. We will name this baby Tyrone!
Come on, it's not that weird.
And did he remind them of a solitary movie star? Was he mustachioed at birth?
He was kind of hairy.
Stop talking!
What's that? Shh. Where did that come from?
We're not supposed to talk.
I'm not talking. Shh. I'm whispering. It's different. I heard that. Now it's loud. What?
I mean, you're right.
I am?
Technically, you're not talking.
And this is funny because...
It's not. It's just, sorry, I'm a stress laugher.
That's the thing.
For me, it is.
It's nice. You have a nice laugh. It's very musical.
Thank you. And you have a nice smile.
Nicer than Tyrone's?
Oh, God, no. He has such a gorgeous smile. All that mustache.
Oh, God, what is happening up there?
Right? sorry. That's the floodgate once I started.
It's okay. It'll be okay.
I know.
You do? Because I don't. I was just being supportive.
I know, me too.
So neither of us knows.
No more than we ever do, I guess. Better to face the unknown with humor than without. Are you scared?
No? You?
No. What?
It's just turning out to be a good day.
Seriously? With whatever's about to happen out there, it's a good day?
Could be worse.
Could be better.
I guess we're going to find out.
So, I think someone in the crew won or lost a bet because I forgot to move this cone. I remembered to move the cone this afternoon, but I forgot this evening. So my apologies, but it doesn't matter. We're not using this mic anyway. Like honestly, the two shotgun mics are the better mics. Craig, you're making a face. No, seriously. There's some buzz on this one, and the only reason it's still there, it's like, it's more work to take it up. It's fine. Everything is fine. So, give it up for Cupidness. Yay! Guess what, everyone? You're going to see that script again. Except it's going to be very different, believe me. So, get ready to see Captive by Amy Neufeld, as performed by Dramatic Paws.
What's going on?
How should I know? I just got here.
Oh, right. Hi. Yeah, I got that much.
It's kind of weird out there.
I'll say.
Have you been here long?
I'm not sure. I was still half asleep when they grabbed me, but I think it's been a while.
They got you too, huh?
Yep. I guess it was inevitable
What do you mean?
that it was just a matter of time, right?
Hey, have we met before? You seem familiar.
I don't think so. My name's...
I don't think we're supposed to.
Right. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Just, I'm not sure what we do here.
Well, having been here longer than you, I can confirm that what we do is sit. Oh, wait. Which is frustrating.
I mean, sitting's not the worst.
It would be better with a chair. Or a cushion.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you look at the research, sitting is actually really bad for you. They say it's like smoking. Not they. Scientists say. Researchers.
Oh, you're done with sitting?
There's got to be something in here. Some clue. Some information.
There doesn't look like much to see.
Maybe there's a false wall.
Hey, you should stop. I don't think we're supposed
Relax, it's fine.
to. You know, saying that seldom does.
Does what?
Get someone to relax. Telling them relax does like the opposite.
Being told to relax makes you more tense? More tightly wound?
Well, it makes me angry and irritated that the person who thinks saying relax will somehow calm me, as if I didn't know I was anxious.
Maybe you don't. Maybe anxious is your default setting. And maybe a verbal cue is a good thing to bring you awareness.
Oh, I didn't realize you were a psychiatrist.
Careful. Remember, we're not supposed to. Besides, being angry and irritated isn't the same as being tense and anxious. So in a way, me telling you to relax did ease your tension.
Do you think replacing mild anxiety with rage is a good trade?
Rage, eh? I get you that riled up?
Stop!
Also, sorry to break it to you, but I don't think your anxiety can be described as mild. You're practically vibrating around over there.
Those are rage vibrations, not anxiety.
Sure thing, friend.
Thank you
Huh?
for sitting down, for not poking around like we're not supposed to be doing.
Oh, you're welcome. Although, in the spirit of full transparency, I only sat down because there's clearly nothing in here.
So it had nothing to do with me asking you not to?
Well, not entirely. Do you think, is that because of us? Of me? You know, poking around?
Relax, it's fine.
Hey, you're right. That does suck.
Told you.
So, I was obviously still asleep when they grabbed me. What about you? Where were you?
Should we
What are they gonna do? Bang on the walls again?
be? That's an awful lot of confidence considering how I had to jump when that baby was starting.
I was startled. Now I'm composed again. It's cute, right?
It's annoying.
Yeah, it's cute.
I was at work when they showed up.
You start work early?
Yeah, I like to get there when it's quiet. I'm an early riser. It gets me out of the house. Although, now I wish someone else had been there with me.
Probably wouldn't have made a difference.
No, probably not.
Hey, you agreed with me.
Don't worry, I won't make it a habit.
What?
What?
You're staring.
I'm observing.
No difference. What are you observing?
I'm trying to figure out why you're so familiar.
And?
Tyrone!
What is this? Rumpelstiltskin? One guess down, darling. My name's not Tyrone.
No, Tyrone is who you remind me of.
I look like someone named Tyrone?
Not look like, sound like. You sound like my cousin, Tyrone.
Really? I find that hard to believe.
Not like tonally. The quality of your voice is different, but your speech pattern, your cadence, it's the same as his.
Oh, is this a good thing?
Absolutely. Tyrone is easily my favorite cousin. Very intelligent. I'd love to sound like Tyrone.
Well then, good. I'd like to meet your aunt and uncle.
Why?
I want to meet the people who hold a tiny baby in their hands, look in his little face, and think, Tyrone. We will name this baby Tyrone.
Come on, it's not that weird.
Did he remind them of a silent or a movie star? Was he mustachioed at birth?
He was kind of hairy.
Stop talking.
What was that? But where did that come from?
We're not supposed to talk.
I'm not talking. I'm not. I'm whispering. It's different. I heard that. Now who's being loud?
I mean, you're right.
I am?
Technically, you're not talking.
And this is funny because...
It's not. It just... Sorry, I'm stressed laughter.
That's a thing?
It
It's nice. You have a nice laugh. Very musical.
Thank you. And you have a nice smile.
Nicer than Tyrone's?
God, no. His smile is gorgeous. All that mustache.
Oh God, what's happening up there?
Right? Sorry, it's a floodgate once I start.
It's okay. It'll be okay.
I know.
You do? Because I don't. I was just being supportive.
I know. Me too.
So neither of us knows.
No more than we ever do, I guess. Better to face the unknown with humor than without. Are you scared?
No. You?
No. What?
It's just turning out to be a good day.
Seriously? With whatever is about to happen out there? It's a good day?
Could be worse.
Could be better.
I guess we're about to find out.
All right, no more puppies for you.
We are having fun here. All right. I might as well actually do my job. Yeah. This was my old job. Yeah. All right. All right. So, the show you have just seen is Dramatic Paws. The show you're about to see, you might have noted a sort of vibe shift in the music. This is another completely different from the first two take on the script, counted by Amy Neufeld, as performed by Mortem.
Should I know? I just got here.
Oh, right. Hi.
Hi.
Where did you come from?
Outside?
Yeah, I got that much.
It's kind of weird out there.
I'll say.
Have you been here long?
I'm not sure. I was still half asleep when they brought me in, but I think it's been a while.
Got you too, huh?
Yep, I guess it was inevitable.
What do you mean?
That it was just a matter of time, right?
Have we met before? You seem familiar.
I don't think so. My name's...
I don't think we're supposed to,
Right. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just I'm not sure what we do here.
Well, having been here longer than you, I can confirm that what we do is sit and wait, which is frustrating.
I mean, sit-ins. Not the worst.
Be better with a chair or a cushion.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you look at the research, sitting's actually really bad for you. They say it's like smoking.
They.
Not they.
Oh.
Scientists, they. Researchers.
So you're done with sitting?
There's got to be something in here. Some clue, some information.
There doesn't look like much to see.
Maybe there's a false wall.
You should stop. I don't think we're supposed to.
Relax, it's fine.
Saying that seldom does.
Does what?
Get someone to relax. Telling them relax does like the opposite.
Being told to relax makes you more tense? More tightly wound?
Well, it makes me angry. And irritated at the person who thinks that saying relax will somehow calm me. As if I didn't know I was anxious.
Maybe you don't. Maybe. Anxious is your default setting, and maybe a verbal cue is a good thing to bring you awareness.
Oh, I didn't realize you're a psychiatrist.
Careful, remember, we're not supposed to. Besides, being angry and irritated isn't the same thing as being tense and anxious, so, in a way, me telling you to relax did ease your tension.
So you think replacing mild anxiety with rage is a good trade?
Rage, eh? I get you that right.
Stop!
Also, sorry to break it to you, but I don't think your anxiety can be described as mild. You're practically vibrating on the ground over there.
Those are rage vibrations, not anxiety.
Sure thing, friend.
Thank you.
Huh?
For sitting down. For not poking around like we're not supposed to be doing.
Oh, you're welcome. Although in the spirit of full transparency, I sat down because there's clearly nothing in here.
So it had nothing to do with me asking you not to?
Not entirely.
What? What?
Do you think, was that because of us, of me, walking around?
Relax. It's fine.
Hey! You're right, that does suck.
So look here.
So I was obviously still asleep when they grabbed me. What about you? Where were you?
Should we be
What are they gonna do? Bang on the walls again?
That's an awful lot of confidence, considering how high you jumped when that banging started.
I was startled. Now I'm composed again. It's cute, right?
It's annoying.
Yeah, it's cute.
I was at work when they showed up.
You start work early?
Yeah, I like to get there when it's quiet. I'm an early riser. Gets me out of the house. Although now I wish someone else had been there with me.
Probably wouldn't have made a difference.
No, probably not.
Hey, you agree with me.
Don't worry, I won't make it a habit.
What?
What?
You're staring?
I'm observing.
No difference. What are you observing?
I'm just trying to figure out why you're so familiar.
And?
Tyrone!
What is this, Rumpelstiltskin? One guess down, darling. My name's not Tyrone.
No, Tyrone is who you remind me of.
I look like someone named Tyrone?
Not look like, sound like. You sound like my cousin Tyrone.
Really? Aren't that hard to believe?
Not like tonally, I mean, the quality of your voice is different, yeah? But your speech pattern, your cadence, it's the same as his.
Oh. Is this a good thing?
Absolutely. Tyrone is easily my favorite cousin. Very intelligent. I would love to sound like Tyrone.
Well then, good. I'd like to meet your aunt and uncle.
Why?
I want to meet the people who hold a tiny baby in their hands, look in his little face, and think Tyrone. We will name this baby Tyrone.
Come on, it's not that weird.
Did you remind them of a silent era movie star? Was he mustachioed at birth?
He was kind of hairy.
Stop talking!
What was that?
Shh.
Where did that come from?
I'm not supposed to talk.
I'm not talking.
Shh.
I'm not. I'm whispering. Different. I heard that. Now who's being loud? Shh. What?
I mean, you! Right!
I am.
Technically, you're not talking.
And this is funny because
it's sorry. I'm a swear slapper.
that's a thing.
For me, it is.
It's nice. A nice laugh. Very musical.
Thank you. You have a nice smile.
Nicer than Tyrone's.
God no. His smile is gorgeous. All that mustache.
God? What is happening up there?
Oh, right. Sorry, it's a floodgate once I start.
It's okay. It'll be okay. I don't. I was just being supportive.
I know, me too.
So neither of us knows.
No more than we ever do, I guess. Better to face the unknown with humor than without. Huh? Are you scared?
No. You? Oh.
What?
It's just turning out to be a good day.
Seriously. Whatever is about to happen out there, it's a good day.
Could be worse.
Could be better.
Looks like we're about to find out.
St. Peter will see you now.
I was too early. It's okay, you're here. 3 shows, same script. 3 different ways. So, as a reminder, this is, in some senses, a competition, and everyone should still have their shiny gold coin. And for those of you who aren't here in person, who are watching the live stream online, you have a metaphorical gold coin. Ooh, hyperlinks. Maybe even a QR code, I don't know. But, so, we are about to break for an intermission where you have a chance to mull things over and then cast your vote for your favorite show. As a reminder, the shows that you saw in chronological order, the first one was Cupidness. They'll have a little jar out there, it's red because heart. The second show, Dramatic Paws, they have a jar out there, it's blue, maybe because of a famous dog, that's a coincidence. And then the third show, Mortem, their thing is green because like, death. Fun fact, that is also alphabetical order, which I did not realize until someone mentioned that right before this. So, 1, Cupidness, 2, Dramatic Pause, 3, Mortem. You can go and vote in the lobby. We're going to have an intermission of 10-ish minutes. I realized I didn't actually ask how long intermission is, but we all know in a theater like this, the length of that intermission is aspirational. We'll flicker the lights. For the people watching the stream, it'll be roughly 10 minutes. Don't wander too far. My face will show up when we start again. And then after the intermission, we'll see a preview of the next show at KWLT, Zastrazi. All right. Have fun voting.
right.
Stage hand.
No, fair. Thank you for answering from the heart. Fade down, fade down. Yay! Nice! Hopefully you all had a good break, and hopefully you're all now 5 grams lighter for having passed through a little shiny metal thing. All right, so welcome to the second half. We are going to have a preview of KWLT's next show. We're going to have a Q&A with the playwright, and then we're going to have a public adjudication. Oh, wow, sorry. See how reflective this is. So, great, it's okay. March Madness it's okay. Without any further ado, the next KWLT show, a preview.
It is not a passion. Passion will eventually reward the soul. It is not an obsession. Obsession will sustain you for a lifetime. It is not an idea. An idea is the product of an ordinary mind. It is not an emotion. It cannot be purged. It is not greed or lust or hate or fear. It is none of these things. It is worse. The sky is swelling, and all those with timid natures had better go high. It will conspire with the sky, and the world will break apart and get thrown around like dust. But it's not the end of the world. It is easily worse. It is revenge.
Thunder, 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 thunder.
You are looking at Zastrowski, but that matters very little. What matters much more is that Zastrowski is looking at you. Don't make a sound. Breathe quietly. He is easily annoyed, and when he is annoyed, he strikes. Look at his right arm. It wields the sword that has killed 200 men. Watch the right arm constantly. Be very careful not to let it catch you unprepared. And while you are watching the right arm, do not forget about the left arm, because this man Zastrowski has no weaknesses, no weakness at all. Remember that, or he will have you. He will have you any way he wants you.
Thunder, 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 lightning, lightning, thunder, 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 thunder.
I am Zastrowski, master criminal of all Europe. This is not a boast, it is information. I am to be feared for countless reasons. The obvious ones, my strength and skill with any weapon. The less obvious, because of the quality of my mind, it is superb. It works in unique ways, and it is always working because I do not sleep. I do not sleep because when I do, I have nightmares. And when you have a mind like mine, you have nightmares that would petrify the devil. Sometimes, because my mind is so powerful, I even have nightmares when I'm awake. And because my mind is so powerful, I am able to split my consciousness in two and observe myself having my nightmare. This is not a trick. It is a phenomenon. I am having one now. I have this one often. In it, I am what I am. The force of darkness, the clear, sane voice of negative spirituality, making everyone answerable to the only constant truth I understand. Mankind is weak. The world is ugly. And the only way to save them from each other is to destroy them both. In this nightmare, I am accomplishing this with great efficiency. I am destroying cities. I am destroying countries. I am disturbing social patterns and upsetting established cultures. I am causing people such unspeakable misery that many of them are actually saving me the trouble of doing away with themselves. And even better, I am actually making them understand that this is, in fact, the way things should proceed. Sorry, it's only been 2 weeks. I am at the height of my power. I am lucid, calm, organized, and energetic. And then it happens. Some people come out of the darkness with sickly smiles on their faces. They walk up to me and tell me they have discovered a flaw in my power, that I am finished as a force to be reckoned with. Then one of them reaches out and tickles me affectionately under the chin. I am furious! I pick him up and crack his spine on my knee and throw him to the ground. He dies immediately. And after he dies, he turns his head to me and says, "Misery loves chaos, and chaos loves company." I look at him, and even though I know the dead cannot speak, let alone make sense, I can feel my brain turn to burning ashes, and all my control flow out of me like mud. And I scream at him like a madman. What does that mean? You know what? My sword!
I see I forgot to move the cone again. It's fine, we're not using that one, really. All right. Maybe I should leave it there. That was a preview of KWLT's next show, Zebstrozzi. Thank you. I am not good at pronunciation. Thank you, stage manager of the show. And the show is being directed by Matt Walsh. If you bought beer tonight, he took your money and gave you a beer. Yeah. And that opens here at Kitchener-Waterloo Little Theater on April 27th. I know it's April 27th, but I still have to look it up because I'd make a mistake if I didn't. All right. Next up, let's have a Q&A with Amy Neufeld. Come on down. The mic isn't actually center stage either, it's a lot.
I'm here.
Yeah, wherever you want to be.
All right.
All right.
Hey,
Great script.
thank you.
This was a lot of fun to interpret.
Well, thank you.
So I know, first off, I have a burning question. Do you know anyone named Tyrone?
I wish. I talked to that. All I would do is tell people about my friend Tyrone. No, I do not. I sadly do not. Do you?
I do not know a single person named Tyrone.
Does anybody here? Somebody does.
One person.
Fantastic.
Oh, cool. How do you know this person,
I
Tyrone?
think we need more.
We went to middle school together.
So
Oh!
somebody had a little baby and they said Tyrone.
Yes.
Tyrone. So I heard that you wrote this play for like children's theater as an interpretation exercise.
Sort of. So it's a longer version of something that I do. So I teach drama, and I've had for years now. I've had this script that's much shorter. It's only about 2.5 pages. But it's the same basic idea. It's two people in a space. It's a little, my students call it the creepy room scene, because it's creepy. And it's intentionally very open to interpretation, as this one is too, because they use it to get them to make choices. Because what I talk about is that acting primarily is about making choices. So we get the script, And there's lots of different ways you can go with it. And I will usually with them, I will say, this is a line where you need to make a decision. I need to see a really strong choice here. So one of the lines that's the same from that as this version we got today was right near the end with the, are you scared? No. Are you? No. And so I always have the kids say, is that a lie or is that the truth? And that's one of the big choices. And so those kinds of things, once they have that nailed down for their characters, then you start to build out, who is this person who lies in that moment or who tells the truth in that moment? And that's how you build it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So tonight you saw like 3 interpretations of your longer. Good job fleshing that out. Though. That was really good. What can you speak to some of the choices that some of the other short versions think? Words hard.
The ones tonight?
Ones you've seen, but at any time, not even including tonight or including tonight.
Yeah. So when the small version that I use for teaching, the kids really tend to lean into the creepiness of it, which kind of makes sense.
Yes, kids are creepy.
Kids are so creepy. Mine are here tonight. That's creepy. So they tend to do that, but every so often we'll get a little bit of a switcheroo in terms of the tone of it, I guess. So I thought with these ones, what was so interesting was, that switch, particularly with that second one. As soon as I saw what they were doing, I'm like, that fits so well. I wish I'd thought of it quick, frankly. I was a little bit like, I wish I'd thought that. So I thought that was neat. And then totally how you can get such a different story. And what was really interesting for me is the playwright, such a different reaction. So you get the lines, where Tyrone tends to be a good laugh line for pieces 1 and 2, by piece 3 with everything that all the layers that they put on, suddenly it's got a lot more, it's a lot more sinister. So I thought that was really interesting to sort of see where the laughs fell, where they didn't, and all those interpretations.
I'm not sure if people who read the script online know this, but the 2 characters are named Apple and Banana.
They are.
And maybe I wasn't being creative enough when we read the script. My first read is like, oh yeah, these are literally 2 pieces of fruit in a refrigerator, and there's I'm knocking outside, which is the person who's hungry and annoyed at the talking fruit and veg in the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things
I would love to see that too, by the way.
maybe I'll direct next
There
year.
you go.
Yeah. One of the things I enjoyed about this script is the last line. So in the script, you said you left it and there could be a line here, or there could not be a line here. And if there's a line here, you can make it whatever you want. And I thought that was a great thing that the teams used wonderfully this year.
Yeah, I loved all that. Some people sort of didn't really, just kind of took it as is, which was great because it worked for what they were doing. And then other ones, adding that little element just to kind of nail down what's happening. But that was, I wanted to kind of keep it open for that interpretation.
Is very in the spirit of March Madness.
Yeah.
I have one more for you, but before we get to that, I did want to throw it to the audience. Does anyone in the audience have any questions? I see one over there and then one here. Yes.
That was very interesting. So my question is, how do you get the idea for does your imagination come from? Is it something that you have experienced before or create?
No, I'm not. I happily have not experienced this. Not enjoy that. I don't think. It came from its necessity being the mother of invention. Again, I needed to originally make sure that my students were understanding the importance and the significance of choices and seeing how those choices can really take a script in a lot of different directions, right? So that we tend to get a script and we think, well, this is the story, this is it, it's all here, and it's not. A lot of it's there, but there's always room to kind of put different layers on. And so I just wanted something really quick. I did something that didn't, especially when you're teaching young people, they tend to get hung up on the stage directions or the well, it says I'm in an igloo, but so I better bring in an actual igloo. And you're like, no, we're going to pretend that, right? And so I thought, let's just make it easier for them to just be like, there's nothing. There's just nothing here. And so once I had that idea, and then for that sort of shorter script, then it was just, it's just easy to get them to play. And so for this version, it was, I just sort of thought, well, what happens if I get to spend a little bit more time with these people? And I kind of thought, can I make this a rom-com? And some of them you can and you can't, right? It doesn't have to go that way, but you can definitely lean into that. Can I give moments of levity which is, I think, part of why I have this compulsive giggling, because I'm like, it's so, for my money, when I'm writing it, it's so anchored in that sort of tension and the darkness. It's so easy to do that. I wanted to add some lightness, so that even if you're leading into that dark side, which is great, you have these moments of levity, and we can see these two people come together. So I think for the longer version, the idea really was, I said I have about 10 pages. I have this really high intensity situation that they're in, regardless of what the choice by the actors are, or the production rather, it's gonna be intense. Can we make a connection with these two people? That was what I really wanted to explore, was how can I get there? And especially then I said, well, let's make them annoyed with each other. Let's make it not an immediate sort of spark, and let's see if we can kind of go there. So I think that was sort of, for this version, that was kind of where the inspiration came. I wanted to explore that a little bit.
Cool. I saw a question here.
Yeah, congratulations. I've tried writing March Madness scripts and have failed many times. And I think part of it is because when you're writing ordinary plays, specificity is one of the things you're going for. And this is the complete opposite. How do you make that leap to not making things things?
Well, I think. No, I like it. I wrote it specifically for this event, right? I think it would be very hard to take another piece.
We did it the first year, and then every year after that, the script has been written by someone local.
Right. Yeah. So I think part of it was just always keeping. I think a lot of times as a playwright, you have a tendency to see it on the stage as you're writing. And one thing that I think, for me anyway, is maybe kind of helps with this is I don't like to direct my own work as well. I know a lot of people, when they write, they want to direct it too, because they say, well, I know what it looks like. And for me, I'm the exact opposite. I know what I think it looks like, but if somebody else directs it, suddenly it's much bigger, and it's always much better, quite frankly, because you get tunnel vision. You can't not when you're the writer, right? You hear it, you know what the cadence is, so you know what you think it should be. But that is for me, that's really quite limiting. So when I was writing this script, that was what I was always thinking, was just trying to blow it open into as much interpretation, because it is really easy to kind of, especially with something like this, I think, to really lean into the tension and to lean into the anxiety of the scene. So I wanted to make sure, for me, the obvious sort of interpretation when I was writing it was, it's some kind of post-apocalyptic something or other. The government is gathering people up. It's tense. They're going to go get killed at the end, right? And I think that's a very valid interpretation. But I wanted to make sure that I could see another way, which is hard for me because I tend to be, tunnel vision. So I was like, where can I put things that will open this up a little bit? So the one that I didn't think it through as many possible interpretations as I probably could have, but the one that I kind of thought might be interesting would be, what if they're contestants in a reality TV show? So that's why I wanted to leave that last line open too, so that you could have somebody come out and say, the producer's ready for you, or something like that, so that you can add that later on. And when I had that in mind, it allowed me to keep things really open, so that I'm like, well, this is a way that this could be, or it could even been a surprise party for the two of them, which would have been a little bit weirder because they say they don't know each other. But I was like, I could see how you could do that. So once I had, a couple of ideas of my own various interpretations, then I could just blow open the script so that it would work for those, and that helped a lot.
I think someone did Surprise Party year 2, or at least Birthday Party, directed by the person who's just up here delivering the monologue, actually. Yeah, and a birthday party lights down, and then it's a funeral because the person died.
Okay.
Yeah. I wrote the script one year, and I remember when I wrote it, I came on at the end, like, here are all the ideas I had for what it could be that people didn't choose. Because the great thing about March Madness is everyone gets the script, but it's so adaptable that this is the 10th year, and there's not once been a time where it's like, oh yeah, we're seeing the same show twice. Yeah.
Well, it's funny too, just because in my mind, again, because I am a little tunnel vision, I'm like, well, these are the 3 possibilities. That's it. So then for me to come assume that was it. So for me to be able to come here and see this and to see all the variety and to be like, oh man, oh, there was more than 3. Oh, maybe there's even more than 6, right? Was very fascinating. So.
I think we might have time for one more. Oh, yeah, yes.
So how do you approach writing like dialogue that sounds natural? Like that flows.
I hope it did. That's a really good question. I think the big one is to read it out loud, right? If you can find another person to read it with. It's the most awkward, horrible thing to do, like, especially if you're just by yourself reading something out loud to yourself, but unfortunately it works. So that's kind of a good one. And I think that, I think it's just one of those things where I hear it I hear it as it's going. So if it's stilted, I can kind of hear that just from the writing. And then if I'm speaking it out loud, or if I can find a scene partner, just be like, hey, can we read this? Then obviously when I hear it, especially if someone else is saying it, I'm like, oh, that's really, you can see. And then, one of the things too that I think came through with this one, there's short lines, right? And that's not always going to be, sometimes you need longer bits, but it just tends to be popular when you have shorter lines. So if you break sort of things up, and I am quite bad for just putting like little interjections where someone will be like, oh yeah, right. And it's in many ways, it's a throwaway line, but it does keep it keeps it from turning into a monologue. And then those are the kinds of lines that people can do a lot with, right? Like I thought in the last production, near the end, the use of God. I was like, that's great, good, fantastic. It's in the script, you use it, right? Whatever
And the bang against the wall again, right? Like that was a different twist on the last time we saw that line.
Yeah, absolutely. So so I think sometimes those little throwaway lines or the little bits, they can again open things up for people. And just try to hear it again. Just always kind of be hearing it in your head. I think is pretty key.
Cool. I have one last question.
Sure.
There's Femme Folks Fest,
Mm-hmm.
and I just have Witches in the Woods. Yeah, tell us about. So you're doing a thing.
I'm doing a thing. I'm doing another thing. We're doing a thing here actually. So
This physical building.
This right here. Tomorrow we move in.
Yeah, we're striking tonight because they're going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah. So part of Femme Folks Fest, which is run by Cat the Dog Theater, and it's March 8th to 20th, I believe. If you just go to your friend Google and search Femme Folks Fest, you will find all the information that you need about it.
My notes agree with you.
I think it's femmefolksfest.ca, but just again, Google is smarter than
My notes again agree with you.
I believe it's in the program.
And it's probably in the program. So it's a great festival with all kinds of events going on, and you should check them all out. But one of them is a new show that I've written. So I write a lot of theater for young audiences, or TYA. I'm trying to rebrand that as TAA, which is theater for all audiences, because I really try to write shows that are that adults will enjoy. And I truly believe that they are. So it's not, I think theater for young audiences, children's theater has a bad rap a lot of the time. And quite frankly, some of it is with good reason. And then some of it's just, you think it's gonna be Barney for an hour up there, and I don't wanna watch Barney for an hour. So I tried very hard to write things that aren't that. So Witches in the Woods is a retelling of Hansel and Gretel. And in it we have a couple, 2 women who live in the woods and are trying to adopt a baby, and are running into some challenges with that. And then we layer on that story the traditional Hansel and Gretel story. I was really interested in Hansel and Gretel because it's one of the few sort of fairy tales where you've got 2 villains, really. You've got the traditional witch that's the real villain. We've also got parents who knowingly send their children into the woods to die. That's not good. So
I hear.
We're not supposed to do that. It's in the manual that you get. So I wanted to explore that. I wanted to explore the idea of using I'm by no means the first person to do this, but the idea of using the term witch to demonize, especially people that are already marginalized. So there's lots of echoes of sort of the Crucible and the witch, to say the witch hunt, where it's all just about you don't like what somebody's doing, particularly a woman, they're a witch, and then you can dismiss them. We're still doing it now. We just use different words. So anyway, all of that in a children's show. And it works, I promise, it works. So we're gonna.
I believe you.
It does,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's fun. Drew Ripley, who's a balloon artist, is doing the set. So it's gonna be a balloon set. Which I know, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be right here.
Yeah, we know Drew Ripley.
Yeah, he's been here many times, I believe. So so that's gonna be something fun to watch. So again, you've got all these layers where you've got some challenging material, but you've got things that are fun for the kids, both visually and in the storytelling. Some amazing performances, all local. So
And it's going to be here from March 10th to 19th.
10th to the 19th, you can get tickets through the Femme Folks Fest website. They are selling quickly, especially the matinees. It runs over March break if you do have little people in your life. We have some tickets left, I believe, for some of the days there. But it really is a show that everybody can enjoy. So I don't think you need to feel strange about not having a child and coming to it, because there's really a lot there for everybody.
Excellent. Amy, thank you for joining us, and thank you for submitting your script. It was excellent. Thank you. Amy Neufeld. All right. I think that's for now. Yeah. Sam.
Yes.
Are you ready? All right. So, do you want to sit or stand?
Yes.
We'll leave the chairs here.
Sure.
And saying this half the back today, any actors who want to come and join us here are welcome to do so. If any actors who are feeling camera shy, you don't have to. Yeah, just sit along the sides. Yeah. It's nicer when people can watch the adjudication. You can like be like,
Yeah, the more we get together.
yeah. There's these cubbies in behind as well. Just don't block the door. Directors too, if you want to come. If you don't want to come, that's fine. You can stay in the audience or wherever you are. Sam Bartingham?
Bartingham, yeah, you got it.
Okay, like I said, I'm terrible at names.
Yeah.
All right, do we have? We have everyone who chooses to be here is here. That is important. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, that's it. All right. So overall impressions.
So thank you for doing this. I think it's a wonderful, wacky experiment that you conduct here. And what a fascinating window it gives folk into, just how many possibilities are out there with script.
Honestly, it's like my favorite thing that we do.
Yeah. It's a great theater nerd kind of indulgence, I'm proud to count myself among the theater nerds, and So good on you. Nice work, and I had a lot of fun. Thank you. I do just want to sort of get some out of the way first and declare a conflict of interest. I am Amy's husband.
Anyone who knows me knows I can't throw stones in that department.
So if any of you are concerned that represents like a conflict of interest and might sort of unfairly bias me in my adjudication, you're absolutely right, it does. And the truth is, Amy and I are hoping to use our power and influence to basically take over and control as much as we can, and we've decided that community theater is the wedge.
So I will tell you, I knew about this, and I'm like, well, I don't think it's a conflict of interest because I think you're on board with the whole exercise of the flexibility interpretation. And the other thing is he probably knows the script already.
I didn't though. I didn't even know if I should read it before I came, but I did because I understood you put it out there for anybody to read. So it's like, I'm anybody, I should.
Yeah, you are definitely anybody. And just for anyone who's curious, the reason why we do that is the first few years, the first show was landing differently because it was people's first time seeing and hearing the script. And we didn't want the first show to land differently just because it was people's first exposure to the script. So we wanted to give everyone the opportunity, not necessity, but opportunity to read the script ahead of time if you wanted to come in knowing what the dialogue was and seeing each interpretation stand on its own.
Yeah, and I even said to Amy when I was asked to adjudicate, there might come to pass if I think this script has presented a challenge of some sort, I might want to speak to that as the adjudicator. But I agree with Amy, it really is a blank slate. Not a blank slate, it's an offer, and there's so many different ways And I think she did a good job as a writer to sort of get out of the way or create opportunities.
And offer. Have you done improv?
This is all improv right now.
Yeah. we planned nothing.
Actually, I've rehearsed about 17 different versions of this.
Yeah, so I've never done this before. How do we get started? Do you want to talk about each show in turn, or?
So this has gone differently every year. I would say, so the way this goes is like, there are 6 special awards that you can call out for like whatever reason. And we give the adjudicator complete latitude in what these awards are. It could be like anything from best acting to like greenest costume. Like we have declared nothing. I don't think greenest costume is one of yours probably, but I don't know.
You could have least green costume.
Sure.
Well, I guess if what I'd like to do maybe is talk about each piece in turn, and then I'd like to do the awards.
That makes sense. Let's do that. Let's do the thing you said.
So I first wanted to say, when I first read this script and I saw that it was banana and apple, and I thought, oh, it's 2 pieces of fruit in a fridge.
I know, right? Yeah.
The thing is, you don't put bananas in the fridge.
No, that is so apples.
No, I don't think you can. I mean, if you want to lay off, sure, you can do whatever you want. But I mean, if you want to have banana bread, I guess, or ripen them up, but a banana in the fridge is like, there's a value, there's a weighted sort of quality to a banana being in the fridge. Anyways, I'm glad I didn't have to grapple with that.
Controversy. Tomatoes, too.
I was really worried how I was going to shake down. Well, you know, eggs as well. Some people put them in the fridge, some people don't. So thank you.
That's regional, because I think we're off track a bit.
So I just, thank you for not forcing me to confront that and having to.
So yeah, let's start with Cupidness. Now I'm always concerned about quickly reading things as heteronormative. And so my first thought that there was a little bit of tension of a romantic nature in the air. I was like, is there? But then I saw that the title is Cupid. So I felt like I was okay sort of moving forward with that sort of sense of what was going on here. That there was some desire at play, that there was different levels of desire on that front. And I just wanted to say that I found this to be a really welcoming and sort of foundational interpretation of the script. And our other 2 pieces, we really saw some directorial vision. I think taking the script in a place that it wasn't necessarily there, but through the direction, through the performance, we discovered how it could go there. But I applaud this production for taking the script, and aside from sort of the very basic pieces of fruit in the fridge, just playing on that, like, because it's a wonderful kind of energy, love is something we all hopefully feel or aspire to, and we can really identify with that, and I found that really welcoming and warm and really easy to connect with. Also, I am not fixated on the trappings of set and costume. That's not to disparage set and costume choices that were made elsewhere, but I think it takes a lot of courage to put 2 actors on a bare stage and trust them to carry a piece, which I thought that they really did, and I thought it speaks to the strength of the performance and the actors, and really gives us a chance to sink our teeth into the performance. So I really appreciated that as well. And one thing, it's not sort of adjudication, but a thing that I noticed that I guess I just wanted to point at and wonder if anybody, so I hope that this can be sort of an exchange. I have some questions and maybe you can help me. Apple had one shoe off at the beginning of the show and put it on. I didn't make a note of exactly when the shoe got put on. And because this piece was making so much opportunity for strong acting choices, I was very interested in the specificity of that. And I guess I just wondered, and maybe if directors or actors want to offer, if that shoe had any kind of special significance, or if it was just a sort of an extra piece for us to sort of sink our teeth into and wonder about. But I find that my mind starts to spin around these things, and I sort of wonder, why was the shoe off? Why did the shoe go on there? That was an interesting little bit.
It was more of just an extra thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, it's good, and I mean, sometimes these choices kind of come out of the ether, and you don't really have a muscular or aggressive choice for it, but it gives us as an audience something to look at, something
I think
to consider.
my intention with asking him to do that, I was the director of Stanford.
Good.
Was that to enhance, like the same thing with Banana when she came on and her clothes are all in a mess, that he was just thrown in there. That's what I was trying to get.
Yeah.
So his
that
shoes are off, is untied, because he's just come out of the torture chamber or wherever it was.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an excellent use of subtlety in terms of inviting us to consider these things and planting a little seed that doesn't necessarily have a specific sort of interpretive value, but it's really just an invitation for the audience to wonder about that. And I was really trying to notice as many details as I could. Yeah, so that I have a couple other thoughts, but I'm going to sort of wait to talk about them in the awards section.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are my. Did you have any sort of follow-up questions or like in terms of Cupidness?
Are you asking me?
I guess I just.
I have
I
have no follow-up questions. Do any of the actors have follow-up questions?
We can certainly follow up. Yeah. Those are sort of my quick thoughts on Cupidness. Next, moving into dramatic Paws. So we did have a set for this one. The pet toys, 15% off. Very socially conscious emphasis on spaying and neutering and controlling the pet population. One other thing I noticed is that, and I don't see my name very often, but was I one of the? Because I saw Dr. Bartlett was one of the doctors that was going to be conducting.
Pandering.
So was that, were you just searching for a name and thought, oh, I remember, because we did something a few years ago, or did when you realized
I
that's
knew
going to
you were
be
the
the Adjudicator?
Adjudicator.
Okay, yeah.
I put my name, I put Josh's name as stage manager,
Yeah.
and then I put your name.
Yeah, it is, yeah. That's a great way to sort of make your Adjudicator complicit. No, really great trick to draw me in is the. Yeah, so here's an example of a directorial vision being brought to bear that wasn't necessarily there. I did not read this script and see pets being spayed or neutered and nervously waiting for that to happen, but it worked. A lot of really delightful interpretations of lines came out, as Amy was saying, things that you wouldn't have expected, but you discovered that is there.
Sit.
Yeah. The value of sitting in that context takes on a completely different meaning. Also great use of, butt sniffing in terms of.
Also great use of butt sniffing.
Yeah, that's not one of the awards. I kind of said, now the award for best butt sniffing goes to. Perfectly obvious, right? But a great way to activate the scene, a great way to sort of motivate movement and get actors, and I appreciated how that gave the actors something to play with. I also appreciated how, so we didn't get a lot of sense of these dogs specifically, but in my mind, especially when we got to like the nervous, how many, like we all know a little dog that's just nervous and vibrates all the time. And I thought that was a great way to motivate that moment in the script in terms of that nervous shaking, because a lot of people who do shake from nerves work hard to keep it very subtle, and if you notice a tremor, you have to notice them as well. But we've all seen a little Shih Tzu or a poodle like literally doing this, and so I thought that was really good. And it made me wonder, there must have been one line where you read it and thought, I think I could put this spin on it. And I wondered if the sit was one of them, or the tremor, the nervousness was another one. So, and you don't have to answer if you don't want, but I wondered where the moment was, where the hook was, where you went, okay, I think this could work in a veterinary hospital situation.
I think probably the idea for the dogs came to me because like the night we got the script and we read through it a bunch of times and we were like kind of tossing around ideas. And I have a dog and he also vibrates when he's anxious or enraged. And so I think I just saw him and I'm like, yeah, if he was in a vet's office, this is how he would behave. And so then we read it like that and it was just like so good.
We instantly were like, oh, this is the moment of the night where we realize every team must have got to this decision. Because it's so obvious.
Clearly does. No, I love it. I love that because I've had that before. Read this exercise, we have to interpret something, and you always think, oh, everybody can do this. And it's what a gift that humans give one another that we don't ever seem to have the same ideas in situations like this. So, nice work, humans. I also was really fascinated about the sign on the one dog's back. I think it's the banana dog.
Yes.
And I spent a lot of the scene just trying to read it. I couldn't see it at first, but then there was a good payoff when I saw that this was emotional support and service animal. So I thought that was a really nice touch, a really nice use of a prop to help paint a picture of where this character was at, what they were feeling. Yeah, and a lot of great use of what wasn't there. A lot of a sense of what's behind the door, what's, that anxiety really was informed well by that. So, yeah, and I guess also, just a random thought that I had, it sounds like they were neutering a lot of different kinds of animals. Horses, several different kinds of primates. So, I really applaud this veterinary hospital. So diverse in their efforts to control pet health.
The lion was having an okay day, but the eagle was having a bad.
Yeah, so those were my thoughts on dramatic pause. So then moving into team post Mortem, our sort of dystopian political thriller interpretation. I really don't think you fully explored a script until you've thrown everybody into purgatory. So it was really good to see that and to see that exploration. I really appreciated the subtlety, the video at the beginning, and here's where I want to quiz the audience. You had your throat slit, and then we saw the line.
Yeah.
Did the other character, were you the killer? No,
No.
okay, because I wasn't sure, because it happened so fast, and I wasn't sure. Because I thought, wouldn't that have been a beautiful sort of symmetry if one had killed the other, and now here they are together, hoping that each other's souls or their souls will be saved.
I thought that too.
Yeah, but no, still a fascinating approach to that, and really good use of makeup and hair to hide this. They didn't see that at first. It was only when you must have intentionally cleared your hair at one point to show us, because because I was like 92% certain we were dead and in purgatory, but I didn't know how you had died, and so that was a beautiful moment when you revealed that, and I saw that. So hair and makeup, folks, that's how you do it. I appreciated the subtlety of the different sort of armbands, the colors, and again, I don't know if this was the case. I wanted to go back and review the slides we saw at the beginning. They were a little fast. I didn't get to read everything. I didn't have a chance to write everything down. But I found as I watched the play, I wanted to know more about, because one had a red armband, the other had a yellow. Probably a nod to bananas and apples. But also in this context, sort of the different colors of the different factions or what have you in this dystopian sort of political world gone wrong. Yes, very much love the use of God. Like it's sort of, it can be like a throwaway expletive, but here it really had weight, and so I appreciated that choice. Whether that was sort of directing or acting, my hope is that it just sort of came out in the room, and it's like, oh wow, we realized how to take. I'm a big fan of the line "what," because oftentimes in a script you'll get the word "what," and you get a lot of actors who just go "what," but "what" is such a rich word. There's so many different whats. There's "what," there's "what," there's like this. It has such a
Say what?
Yeah, it has such a beautiful, and those are real opportunities. And I thought you did a great job of taking those lines that could have just been sort of run over quite quickly as functional lines, and really exploring them for their value in terms of the meaning of the script. What else do I want to say? Great world building in this. Great technical, ambitious technically. Appreciated the fact that we had you come up and set the screen for 30 seconds of video.
That used to be my day job.
Oh, well done. shooting that video. I appreciated that, going to that extra effort to give us that visual. And this was the play, so the line at the end, this turned out to be a good day. This was the play where I felt like that line landed the hardest for me, because in the other one, I guess you could have delivered it as ironically, or, there was the sort of hope of maybe a romantic connection, the hope that was built into that. The animals maybe having made friends, but just the sort of what you sort of invested in, what these characters had at stake. I felt like there was the most at stake in that circumstance in terms of calling this a good day, and I got it there. And not only did I get it, but it didn't seem like it seemed like that was a freighted sort of observation. And I appreciated how you would turn it. You did a lot of good work turning lines into something I didn't think that they would be, but they still could. So I really appreciated that. And I think that concludes my adjudication thoughts and notes.
Cool. We have 6 special awards.
We have 6 special awards that I'd like to hand out at this point. And Nadia, I think, is going to come and hand them to me in the order that they will be delivered. Okay. So, we're a big fan of ugly acting in my house. We really like that movie, Spider-Man, with Tobey Maguire, where he's like on the train. He's like, so many actors want to be beautiful, but some of them are just like, and they're ugly. And it's really good and brave to go into that ugly acting phase, that place, to sort of embrace, and not necessarily ugly physical acting, but to sort of dig into the pain of a character, where there's the choicest sort of injuries that you see happening. And so my first award, I want to give to, apologies, I'm going to mispronounce this, Jawad Magmadin from Cupidness, for most gorgeous agony. I thought your agony was gorgeous. She gave you nothing. You loved her so much. And she wasn't having it, But you still found a good day in that. And your agony was gorgeous, sir. And my Next, I'm a big fan of subtle references to pop culture. I'm a Gen Xer, raised by TV, just like many of us were. And so I really appreciate those subtle sort of film and television references. And so that's why I want to give a production award to Dramatic Paws for Best Lion King Reference.
It's funny. There's supposed to be a sound cue, and it played this afternoon. It didn't play.
I am hardcore.
I was sad on every time, but I'm just telling everyone it came through.
No, the Lion King reference came through without the.
Yeah. It's supposed to be even more. There's supposed to be a sound cue.
I don't know. I think it worked. It was nice and subtle, and I think it read. So
hey, well, here we go. It worked out.
Take those accidents where you can find them. Next, costuming is something that I'm guilty often I don't pay enough attention to. I was in a sketch comedy troupe for years, and our costumes basically just were whatever we were wearing that day. We did a terrible job. But this evening I saw a use of costuming to express not only character, but it created an interesting contrast between the two characters. And so that's why I want to give a production award to Cupidness for most expressive use of pants. Yours were passionate and colorful, and yours were muted and gray, which I think really spoke to the fiery passion in your gorgeous agony and the complete lack of the acceptance of those overtures. So for Cupidness, okay. Next, like I was talking about in terms of lines that don't really jump off the page at you. Sometimes you'll get a line in a play that is not grammatically correct. And then you always sort of wonder, does the playwright know good grammar, or is this a choice? And in this case, here's my bias coming through. I know Amy understands grammar. And so it was a challenging line to deliver. And so that's why I want to recognize Evie Slater for the delivery of the line, not they, because that's challenging. So this is my best delivery of a grammatically challenging line. To make that stuff work, and I really appreciated the pause and the cadence that really made that line come through. Yeah, okay, so next we will have certain moments in a script where there's an emotional transition coming, and building up to that can be difficult, and seeing an actor work up to it is always a great treat. Seeing that sort of supported by direction and embedded sort of in the whole vision for the script is always a delight, and I thought that was particularly well done by Diana Scrizlow. So that's why I want to award you, Diana, from Dramatic Paws for Best Nervous Laughter. Adjudication, I've really sort of noticed that nervousness and embedded in the little dog. I really felt like that came out and was really well grounded and justified. Finally, sometimes there's a little thing in a script that seems like a red herring, and sometimes you can just sort of skate over it. It's not a big deal. It's there for comedic purpose. But sometimes you'll see a production really invest in something seemingly innocuous. The way I got fixated on that shoe, and I really appreciate folks who take a little bit and turn it into a lot. And that's why I'd like to award the production of Teen Postmortem for being most invested in Tyrone's backstory. We thought he was just there to be a funny name, but it turns out he was the whole political sort of right wing, left wing, and the center of some controversy there. Okay, so finally, the moment where I have to declare, what is the wording we're using?
Adjudicator's favorite.
His favorite. Okay, this of course was a difficult choice. And my reasons for awarding it to the production I did had to do with, I think they made some pretty courageous choices in terms of how they interpreted the script. Things that really didn't seem like they would be embedded in the script itself. But they really took us to a new place and really flipped the script on its side in a way that was really delightful. I thought there was a great sort of subtlety in terms of their approach. I thought there was a lot of consideration in terms of how each and every line was delivered. And I also want to applaud their above and beyond efforts in terms of technical elements, which is why I would like to award this to Team Postmortem. Thanks for the opportunity to come and say the things I think.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to say it again, but louder. Thank you for thinking such lovely things. That was a wonderful adjudication. Right now, about half of my brain is devoted to do not sit down on this chair. Because there is a piece of wonderful glasswork on this chair. And this isn't for me. Best host. So,
it's an old clipboard.
Are you saying this is also reflective? Oh, it super is. All right. votes from this afternoon, the votes from this evening, and the votes from online. And I am pleased to award the audience favorite to one of the shows.
Yay!
The audience favorite is Dramatic Paws.
All right. Wow, we had a March Madness. March Madness 10! I had fun. All right, before we wrap up, there's some things I do want to mention just in terms of like upcoming events. So, if you saw all these wonderful people on stage tonight and are thinking, oh, I'm jelly, I want to be on stage. Good news, we have auditions coming up. Our next auditions are for Ordinary Days, that's the title of the show. The auditions are March 27th to 29th. They will be at 44 Gockel Street, which is the alternate location we have for rehearsal space and also auditions. So if you're interested, March 27th to 29th, more information is on our website, KWLT.org. The next show that's playing here is
Zastrozzi.
It opens April 27th. It is going to be our standard 3-week run, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday for 3 weeks, starting on April 27th. And this is exciting. I got word earlier today that we are doing another Battle of the Bards, which is independent, but Battle of the Bards, good friends of KWLT. The show is going to be May 26th. Now, for people who don't know what Battle of the Bards is, it is basically 7 minutes. You can do mostly whatever you want. Like, it has to be appropriate for a wide audience, but some people sing, some people do stand-up. I made a mug cake once. People have done like a portrait while doing a monologue. There's a person who built a bookshelf, which was used later that night in a different act. So, Battle of the Bards, good time. If you are thinking of showing up a thing, or if you think I can entertain people for 7 minutes, email bards@kwlt.org. There are some other events coming up. Femme Folks Fest, as previously mentioned, is a big festival. There are many different events, but one of them is happening right here again. Witches in the Woods by Amy Neufeld. You saw her earlier. That's here, March 10th to 19th, but the whole festival is from March 8th to March 20th, and their website is femmefolksfest.ca. Or as she said, if we made a mistake, Google has your back. There's also the Irish Real Life Festival, which is from March 10th to 19th, and their website is irishreallifekw.com. All right. I am at the part of the night where I do the thank yous. And I wrote all of these down because I don't want to forget anybody. All right, well, I didn't write this one down. Thank you to our directors and actors. Woo! You all put on some really great shows tonight. All right, for supporting this event, I'd like to thank Stefan Verviniotis for doing front of house and also hanging this God spot. Tristan, can you hit this God spot? I gave you no notice for this. I didn't plan this. Yeah, thank you for hanging this light, Stefan. I'd also like to thank William Thiel for doing front of house for the afternoon show, and Aaron Moffat, who made the big glass plaques 10 years ago, and continues to make the individual March Madness awards to this day. These. Aaron Moffat, thank you. I'd like to thank the crew, Alex McVitie, who is running the sound for the live stream. So if you watch this online, you heard Alex's work, and also feel free to donate while you're thinking about while you're at it. All right, thank you to helpful Heather McDonald for stepping up to be our ASM at the very last minute. Thank you to Catherine Schill for moderating the YouTube live stream thing. You're out there. Thank you to the March Madness Committee. Lenore Brooks, who did the set design. Matt Walsh. Yeah, sure. Matt Walsh, who did the program, helped with the music, and gave us the benefit of like 10 years of March Madness experience. You've been involved every year, right? Also, we took their money for beer. Yeah. I lost my pet cat. Thank you to Nadia Yasaki, who set up the stream and gave us a lot of technical assistance throughout the last week. Thank you to Paige Googler, who was on camera tonight and also wrote all of the promo posts that you saw go out with like the graphics and the stuff. Thank you, Paige. Thank you to Tristan Olenowa, who did lights and sound and like so much organization stuff. You are so much more organized than I am, even though you're like not even half my age. How can you exist? Thank you to Mel Ma for doing video mixing, all the internal communication for the team. Anyone who received an email from the team is written by me or her, usually her. So much organization, and Mel, thank you for being my partner in madness. And also, I'm on the committee, I guess. I've been Michael L. Davenport.
Thank you.
I have to say, getting to be the MC of this event is thanks enough. Thank all of you for coming. Good night, everyone. Let's go on stage now. So you're going to stand here so people don't see it.
Yes, final.
Best smile.